Good evening and bienvenue, my fond fair friends, family, and subscribers. This is your humble narrator, Diomedes Rouge, here to bring you part 2 of What If Naruto Could Summon a Glavenus? Where we last left off. Well, Zabuza had to run. He had to run because Team 7's offensive power was in risk of causing actual grave harm and injury. And he knew it. Unlike Zabuza from the original canon, who kept on underestimating them and wound up getting caught off guard, this one could see the potential and, well, the sheer destructive output, and decided the better part of valor would be to retreat, to fight another day. Naruto is currently being carried on his back to, well, the village. Pardon me one moment. Sorry about that. Now, where Naruto is carried to the Hidden Mist Village, to Tanza's house, where the quest was originated from. Upon arrival, the bridge builder was more than skeptical about why they were carrying the young orange-clad boy, until they tell him, well, they were attacked by a rogue ninja. And that he better start explaining, because if that's the type of competition they're to expect, this isn't no D rank mission. They get through the whole point of, well, hashing out that the mission was falsified. And instead of D rank, it's more along the lines of B rank. Very high, especially for Mir Ganin. That's when the youngest Inari is expecting all of them to just walk away. Oh, how wrong he is. Because as soon as Naruto gets just a bit of strength, he stands up. Slowly but surely, he stretches and listens to his body make a bunch of satisfying little pops and creaks. And once he's fully sure he's limbered up, he walks straight outside to where Kakashi is and tells him, "Thank you very much. I'm sorry if I lost my cool back there. I'll try not to do that again. I just got a bit heated." "It's no problem, Naruto. It's more than understandable," Kakashi states. Says, "Thank you, Sensei." As then Naruto proceeds to, well, sit down and look at the water. Watch how it flows. Why does he do this, you may ask? Well, he's picked some stuff up from Garrus. Because while Garrus may be brutish, hell, zealous, most definitely, he's also kind in his own way. And during their hunts, well, he was different. Garrus on a hunt was like a predator. However, after the hunt was over, he was at rest. He was sated. He was calm. And he would look and watch nature. Naruto would ask him why. To that, Garrus would respond with, "Because it's nice. It makes me... I don't know. But you get this odd feeling that just by watching it, you could try to understand it, but you never truly can. You can learn everything you can about the environment you're in without knowing anything about it. You can learn, for instance, why does a squirrel move like a squirrel? What makes it go places? But you'll never understand what the squirrel does, why the squirrel does what it does. Why does it choose this tree over the next? Why does it choose to hide its nuts there? Same with the insects. And then you kind of look back at them and think about from their perspective. The squirrel sees us and probably wonders, what are those things? Are they a threat? Or are they calm? They look dangerous, but as the squirrel gets closer, they don't seem hostile. See? As it takes off again. It's strange. You could spend your whole life delving into its mysteries, but you can never truly grasp it. You're weird, Garrus. It's something my father used to tell me when I was younger. Well, mind if I join you? Sure. More the merrier. But now Naruto feels alone. He feels somewhat empty. And you may say, well, why doesn't he summon Garrus back? One, he just got back on his feet. He's nowhere near 100%. He knows he doesn't have enough chakra to support him. If you were to summon him back, all he'd do is drain his remaining reserves and be weaker. And two, Garrus gave a lot to him. To summon him back, he needs to have a lot to give him. Because I will say he at least does understand the basics of it. But we're not focusing on Naruto at the moment. No. We're switching our focus to Garrus. Because back when he reappeared at his home, the first sight he sees is his father and his grandfather staring each other down. How could you let him go off like that, old man? Do you not realize what danger he could be in? He's fine. Will you relax, you hot-headed imbecile? I swear, you're more overprotective than your mother. As the grandfather turns his head slightly and notices Garrus. Ah, so you've returned. And more importantly, you did so unharmed. Which means one of two things. And to that, Garrus makes a subtle gulp. I can explain grandfather. No need. I saw everything. You bypassed the rules. Our sacred traditions. As his grandfather gets ever closer to him. You broke them without even thinking about it. As he begins to loom over Garrus, eyes blazing. You didn't even hesitate to break those sacred oaths. I'm so proud of you. Huh? I'm so proud of you. I can't believe my little man has grown up so much. As he begins to press his head on top of Garrus's and just kind of rubs it silly. Gramps, Gramps, ow! Oh. Nah, that's my little man. That's my little blade. Oh. It's like, Gramps, Dad, make him stop. Sorry, you're on your own. Like, what? Yep, you're on your own. As his dad just kind of mutters that and just kind of backs up, be like, well, at least I'm not the only one that happened to. I thought you would be more upset, grandfather. Oh, believe me, I don't really care about traditions. The only reason they're in place is to ensure that summoner doesn't black out and, die from fever. What? Oh, yeah, you didn't know, but, by bypassing those steps to build up their spiritual connection with you and just jumping straight into that, you quite literally risked his entire being. I did what? Oh, yeah, he could have died. You're joking. Oh, not in the slightest. You really could have fried him. Like, at worst case scenario, your entire chakra nature could have engulfed his and singed it from the inside out. And singed him from the inside out. At this moment, Garrus's jaw makes contact with the floor. You didn't tell me this! Well, duh. You weren't ready to hear. And if I did, you wouldn't have done something as crazy as you did. Naturally! Is he okay? Naruto's fine. Relax. I knew he'd be strong enough to handle it. Another reason why I didn't tell you. Seriously? Yeah? What? Do you really think good old Gramps would do something that risky? You are very old. Wow! As well, Garrus gets popped upside the head by the flat of Gramps' blade. And oof! Does he get sent flying? Boom! Right into the wall. At this point, Garrus just kind of gets up and says, okay, Naruto, I apologize for all the times I've hit you. Oh. As he falls over. Oh, so what was the point? Simple. For one, I was keeping an eye on you to make sure that if a situation like that did arise, what would you do? And sure enough, just like his predecessor, he attracts trouble like shit does flies. He attracts pardon me. He attracts trouble like flies find shit. Virtually instantly and overwhelmingly constantly. There is no way to avoid it. That is kinda his fate, unfortunately. constant, never-ending, never-yielding battle. Wow. Sounds perfect, I know, right? Oh, you're gonna have so much fun. I can't wait for you guys to make to finally complete your bond. Oh, the amount of devastation you'll bring to his opponents. I will be so proud of you. Oh, and when you get bigger, oh, you guys will definitely, most definitely, Gramps. What? Sounds terrible. What? Naruto just wants to live in peace. Granted, he chose to become a ninja, but he did so in order to make his village better. He doesn't want to fight. Well, unfortunately, he picked the one occupation that guarantees he will fight. Are you going to abandon him? No, of course not. Then be ready. But you're saying he's destined to fight no matter what. Oh yes, most definitely. He is in for the long haul. It's practically in his blood. He is going to bring forth so many different people just by existing to come and face him. How do you know this? I knew his father. Oh, did I know his father? But that's a story for another day. A day when both you and him come and talk to me. But relax. That day is still far off. Now I think it's time we taught you more. And this time, we're going to teach you a very important trick. Oh, okay. As we cut away from Garrus's area, it moves back towards Naruto, who is, well, still walking, looking at the river, at the ever, well, ever wide and eternal lake, watching it as it flows. That's whenever, well, Sakura goes over and gives him something. He says, "For me? Really? Kakashi Sensei told me to give it to you. He said it'll help you recover and that it can help you train even in your reduced state." Thank you. As he, well, bites into a chakra pill. Immediately he senses a drastic increase in his chakra, but nowhere near to his fullest capability. And so, he walks over to where Kakashi Sensei and Sasuke are, well, standing. He meets up with Sakura and, well, Kakashi Sensei essentially establishes how to walk on the, well, walk on trees. However, due to him not having his leg damaged, he's able to teach them at a bit of a better rate. And considering the sheer fact that, well, he saw what they could do, especially what Naruto could do, he believes that, while they may not be suited for this mission, he can at least know that they can guard the target if Zabuza returns, and he can take care of him. Pardon me one moment. Now. Then he focuses on something a bit more interesting. After the whole trial, failure, and poor execution by Sasuke, in this case, because Naruto already learned how to do this, Sakura figures it out relatively easily, considering she figured out chakra control relatively easily. Sasuke's having a hard time until, well, Naruto basically walks up to him and says, "Hey, you do this wrong. Here how you do." Not in those exact words, but I'm trying to speed this up here. He doesn't want to take the advice. Naruto bops him in the head. It's like, what the bop? What the bop? I'm going to bop. Shut up, take advice. Like, I'm trying to help you, so you help me. I don't want to die. I need you at best. I need you better than your best. So, you stay alive, you help me stay alive, and we keep her alive, and in turn, she can keep both of us alive. Get the idea? Yeah? Good. You do this like this. And he basically teaches him how to basically kind of knocks some common sense into Sasuke's head. And you're probably wondering, how can he hit Sasuke like that? Simple. Naruto is not only faster now, he's also stronger, and he's a bit more perceptive. Nowhere near as perceptive as, say, someone with a Sharingan, even a single Tomoe Sharingan is highly more perceptive than Naruto is at his current rate. But it is astounding for, average person. Now, upon this realization, Sasuke gets the hang of it relatively quickly. And then Kakashi Sensei focuses on something not even Naruto knows how to do quite well. Walking on water. Because, oof. Yeah. He does not like that idea, but he goes along with trying to learn it anyhow. And, well, after 3 or 4 near drowned Team 7 members, yeah, Naruto finally is able to pick it up along with Sasuke. In fact, Sasuke picks it up a bit quicker than Naruto in this case because he took what Naruto basically told him and applied it a bit more quickly. Naruto, on the other hand, is a bit more stubborn. He figures, why isn't his way working whenever he has to remember this is a completely different surface. And then he has to calm down, re-rationalize, and work it out. After a little bit of advice, he's able to get it down pat. And Sakura, well, she gets it easily because, she's actually somewhat smart. When she's not being a swarmy. Anyways, enough about that. Naruto basically thanks his sensei and is, well, very happy to have learned the lesson. Even if it did get him soaked to the bone. Where he proceeds to, well, head back and change. After he changes into his other uniform, same with Sasuke and Sakura, they all have a bit of fun, they eat. Inari does what Inari does, get angry, throws a tantrum, does the whole speech about how no one really cares about how his dad wasn't really strong or brave, how he left him, how he would have preferred him to stay alive and not be dead, blah blah blah. Yes, very heart-wrenching speech. even though his dad did the right thing. And then, before he can even get out the door, Naruto quickly moves over towards there and backhands the ever-loving piss out of Inari. I'm talking backhands to the point to where there's not only an echo, there's a reverberating echo. We're talking this boy got hit so hard his grandchildren will probably feel it. I mean, damn boy, did he get one hell of a backhand. After picking himself off the ground, because yes, he just got a hell of a bitch slap by Naruto. After kicking himself off the ground, he's, well, obviously a little bit of blood, because that was one hell of a backhand. Obviously, very teary-eyed, because he's a little kid. Sakura immediately goes up and tries to punch Naruto for being an ass. Sasuke's just going, serves him right, he was too loud. And Kakashi's going, Naruto, that was way too far. And, well, Naruto says, yeah. But if a little kid's gonna try and talk like a man, he should be willing to accept a man's punishment. Mm-hmm. Your father died a man. Your father died trying to protect something he believed in. Your father died fighting for something, not laying on his ass, not hiding, not cowering in fear to live another day. You should be proud of that man. Even if he's no longer here, he's still with you. He's still watching you. He's still guarding you. You think he didn't care about you? He did that for you. He died for you. He died to try and keep you from having to live under tyranny, to keep you from having to live under the thumb of gangsters and villains. And how do you repay him? You disrespect him in his own house. You should be ashamed of yourself. I know you're sad. You don't know anything. I know everything. As he picks Inari up. You at least had somebody. You at least had someone to watch you grow, to tell you that everything was going to be okay. I had no one. I had no one for years. Hell, everywhere I go, I was hated. The only thing I could do to get any sort of attention was break and defile crap. Do you really think I don't know the type of pain you're feeling? I know it 100 times better than you. You're feeling loss of someone you loved. It's better to have loved and lost than to have never had anything there at all. I am jealous of you. You had someone there that was willing to fight for you, that was willing to guard, protect, and unconditionally love you. I would have killed for that. As Naruto sets him down. Next time you start judging your dad too harshly, remember that he only did what he did so you could have a brighter future. And when I go out there to possibly face my death at those same bastards, know that I'm gonna do so for you as well. What? Well, think about it. Why else do you think we're still here after figuring out that we were deceived? Any normal person would have abandoned the quest. We're not normal. We're Team 7. We're crazy as hell. I'm going to turn in early. As Naruto heads away. Tazuna is gobsmacked. Kakashi is going, where the hell did he learn that? Sasuke's going, I don't really care. And Sakura's thinking, did he really just... Wow. That sucks. Wow. I never really... And Naruto went up, got onto the roof, and he fell asleep, gazing at the stars. Next morning, bright and early before anyone else raises up, Naruto's on the ground. He bites his finger on the marked hand, and he goes, summoning jutsu. The seal appears, but then vanishes. Huh? As Naruto thinks to himself, weird, but alright. Maybe not enough blood. So, he bites down on his thumb even harder this time, causing it to even spurt a bit of blood. Summoning jutsu! As the seal appears, and then fades. As Naruto's going, what the hell? Garrus, come on! As he tries again, and again, and again, and again. Summoning jutsu! Summoning jutsu! Summoning jutsu! Each time, the same thing happens. The seal appears, and then fades. He does this to a point where each one of his fingers has a bite mark on it, where he's bitten them over and over again, drawing blood, but nothing's working. Back in Garrus's world. Oh, will you look at that? What is it, Grandpa? He's trying to summon you. I know. Why won't you guys let me go? Relax. He hasn't tried summoning you the right way. You're his partner. He has to learn to call on you properly. But he doesn't know how. How can he learn if we don't teach him? Simple. Every partner learns to call on their partner. Every master learns to call on their partner in their own way. As he smiles with a big sinister grin. Come on, son of Minato. Show me what you can do. As Naruto thinks, what am I missing? What? What? As he looks towards his hand, the one emblazoned with the mark, and goes, maybe. Okay. As he sets his hands forward, it's slightly trembling due to the pain he caused it from biting the ever-loving shit out of it multiple times. Good God, Naruto, you crazy bastard. Why would you bite your hand like that? You figured you'd learn after the first 5 times. No, you had to go for 22. Dumb kid. Stubborn little shit. Yes, he goes. don't know if this is gonna work. As he focuses his chakra into his arm, as the insignia burns brighter and brighter and brighter, to where a red glow appears from his hand. A red aura begins to form, shining brightly, as he says, "Garrus, please, come to me. I need my partner." As Garrus's chest begins to glow with the same seal, the same insignia. I told you. Oh, let him go. As Garrus's father releases his son, and Garrus appears straight out of the ground, roaring his very beloved head off. I am here, master. Garrus, did you miss me? As Naruto hugs the ever-loving crap out of his head. You're like, of course I missed you. You have no idea how much I missed you. I missed you too. Now, we need to talk. As Kakashi is well awake at this point, in fact, he was awake by the 10th summoning jutsu technique, because Naruto rudely awoken him, and has been kind of watching this whole shit show from that point onward, wondering, what the hell's taking it so long? Is he not putting enough chakra in it? No, he's putting enough chakra in it. What the hell's going on? Oh shit, what the hell is he doing now? Okay, I did not see that coming. And I can't copy that. What the holy hell did he just do? As Kakashi has all of this thought just rushing through his mind right now, just going, what the absolute hell? As Garrus begins to explain more, telling Naruto why he suddenly felt more powerful, why he was able to hear Garrus even though he was, well, trapped underwater. Well, in a water prison, inside his own mind, no less. Basically, the stronger the connection is to their the stronger a rider's connection is to their partner, the more, I guess you could say, boons the rider gets, and vice versa. For instance, with Naruto, it's somewhat obvious. The more powerful, the more he's bonded with Garrus, he gets physically stronger, more adept, more, well, nimble. He becomes faster. His eyes can perceive things much, well, greater. He can maneuver faster, think at a different level than he used to. He thinks more, he can begin to, well, be better than what he was. For Garrus, the changes are much more subtle. For instance, he feels lighter. He no longer has to strain as much to use his abilities. He becomes, well, more aware of Naruto's location, more aware of his well-being. He's, honestly, becomes the ultimate mount, you could say. Able to sense and feel Naruto's not only energy, but sense where he's at and be able to follow it virtually anywhere. you could say that as long as the seal as well as their bond continues, the more and more perks they'll eventually gain. Who knows what could be in store for them? But now I think it's time we start focusing in on the real thing. Oh yes. Naruto decides to go for a walk after some light training. Yes, you all know where this is going. Pardon me one moment. Where Naruto goes into the forest and eventually comes across what he perceives as a young man with quite effeminate features. Naruto is greatly confused, as were many of us. He goes, "Hi there," as this person is picking flowers. I didn't know this place was... Well, I didn't mean to disturb you. I just like to come out here to observe things from time to time. I found this place a couple days ago, actually, Naruto states. Haku just gives a gentle smile and says, "Ah, I see. I'm Haku, and you?" "I'm Naruto." "It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance," Haku states, as they shake hands. They go through the whole bit as per canon because, well, Naruto has no reason to assume Haku is, well, any relation to Zabuza. For one, middle of the flower field. And he didn't really get that good of a scent from Zabuza, much less his sense of smell isn't that quite developed. If Garrus was there, maybe he could have caught something, but he wasn't. Naruto was going off on his own while Garrus was sleeping. And two, well, while Naruto may be wiser, he's still Naruto. He's friendly, sometimes overly friendly. And he doesn't see Haku as a threat because he's never seen anyone of his size, shape, build anywhere in the village. This is where the fun begins. Because this is where, well, the gangsters start to show. And oh boy, do the gangsters show. As Tazuna is getting ready to, well, him and his builders getting ready to finish building the bridge. As, well, I'm not even gonna bother saying that. Overgrown, asinine, poorly, just poorly stated character of a boss. He's not even worth my time to mention. He doesn't rule through power, he rules through money. That's the thing. He pays people to do his work. And he's not that big a threat on his own. Reason why he hires so many ninja. To those of you who knew the series, well, you know this little, pudgy, black-suited, nearly bald, cane-toting, Ozzy Osbourne glasses-wearing motherfucker. To those of you who don't worry, you don't really need to. He doesn't appear after this scene. Well, after this confrontation, even in canon. As well, the fight's about to take place. Team 7 at the vanguard. With Garrus. You know, 8 foot tall, 10 foot long, dinosaur looking motherfucker with a knife tail. Because, of course, they had to have something that was, scary and big and intimidating with them. Quite a few of the men this pudgy little bastard brings are immediately kind of shitting bricks, because this thing looks hungry. Garrus decides to have fun with this and begins to move forward and produce a bit of drool along the side of his mouth. Oh, how quite a few of them begin to even run before Zabuza cuts them down. Oh, and what quick work he makes of them. As, well, Kakashi does what Kakashi does and charges in at Zabuza, who charges in at, well, Kakashi. And in turn, Haku goes after, well, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. However, Garrus was told, well, Garrus wanted to help Naruto, but Naruto told Garrus that him and Sasuke can handle this. Notice how he said him and Sasuke, not him, Sasuke, and Sakura, because we all know Sakura shit. That they can handle this. He needs Garrus to focus on protecting the builders, making sure they get a clean escape route, and, well, can be guarded from any possible mercenaries that are going to charge in. To this, Garrus reluctantly says okay. And so the fight begins. Haku throwing his Simbone everywhere. Naruto dodging with his speed and agility, equipping his Taiga claws to, well, essentially and accurately guard and block the Simbone. Because remember, the palms of the tiger claws can be used as guards. They are made of metal, after all. Interlocking links. As Haku throws, well, more and more Simbone, luring them into a trap that, well, they fall hook, line, and sinker into. As Haku uses his crystal ice mirrors. And, well, moves into them. Garrus has to deal with a few minor mercenaries that charge forward to try and intimidate and or kill the builders. But Naruto and Sasuke, oof, they are having it rough. As Haku is attacking them from virtually every direction except from below. And Naruto knows he can't go below, because if he tries to go below, well, he's screwed. Because even if he digs below, he goes straight to the water. And then disrupts the structural integrity of the bridge, which will take longer to build. Which pisses him off. As with every hit, they try and melt it with Sasuke's fire. And that's whenever Naruto gets the idea. Sasuke, you got enough room in there for another fireball? Yeah. Why? It's not doing anything. Do you trust me? Not really, no. Really? I'm shitting you, Naruto. If there's one thing I've learned from our little time together as a team, is that you may be a crappy teammate when it comes to outside the battle. But when it comes to things actually having to deal with it, you're pretty spot on. Let's do this. Whatever you're planning, I'll help. As, well, Sasuke sets up for does the signs for his fireball jutsu, as Naruto covers him, quite literally. Realizing he has a lot more endurance than Sasuke, whatever Simbone is thrown at them, he basically takes and is, well, trying to either catch and or destroy it. Sasuke finishes his sign in a couple of seconds, and Naruto does wind style, wind bullet jutsu, as his wind and Sasuke's fire combine to create basically flame ball, a giant flaming ball of, well, fuck you to anything in behind it. Oh boy. They did not realize how badly they would damage things. Because not only did they destroy some of the mirrors, that thing went on and blew up right in the middle of the lake. As I will say, they were facing the left-hand side to see if they could reduce the damage. Because if they were going to face either north or south, yeah, either people are going to die or people are going to die. Yeah, they created a giant explosion on the lake, which in turn created a giant wave, which in turn came and hit the bridge. I assume many of you can see where this is going. Haku is fine. Crystal ice mirrors defy the laws of gravity and logic. They do not fall. So, that thing stays perfectly safe no matter what force, unless it's a high-impact explosion. Or something stronger. Meanwhile, the builders, well, they have to be protected by Garrus, who essentially acts as a living barrier, which he despises because, in case you didn't know, Glavenus don't like water. Think of this T-Rex looking sumbitch as like a big cat. Except instead of, oh, his hair gets frizzy, oh no, his scales begin to go get all steamy. Yeah, he no like the water. The bandits, or rather I should say the gangstas, yeah, there's no real protection. They all kind of get swept away by the water, including the boss man. At that point, Naruto and Sasuke are, well, they get slammed into the ice mirrors. And when the water begins to dissipate and they begin to fall, Naruto and Sasuke both feel a deep, piercing pain in their chest. As Naruto looks at his hands and sees the blood begin to pool, and looks at Sasuke, who's not only currently exhausted from spending his fireball jutsu, but has a hole right in his chest. Or rather, I should say, a symbol. A tiny needle that is very precise and very deadly, depending on where it hits. And it hit Sasuke dead at his chest. Naruto begins to get angry. He thought he was saving his friends from this sort of thing. He thought he not only gained a new friend, but he thought he was saving him. But his plan backfired and put them in prime position to get killed. He begins to get really, really angry. And Garrus is feeling this rage take over. He feels this hatred burning inside Naruto. He feels this unrelenting beast wanting to tear out of him as Garrus looks onward, as Naruto's chakra begins to manifest in a bright orange, then turned to a darker and darker red hue, coating around his body. They can see Naruto inside. It's transparent, not like the ones from Shippuden when he got really, really pissed off. This is still young Naruto, and young Naruto will still be like young Naruto. The Nine Tails can't fully push all of its powers onto him, because if it does, his body will break. And that's the last thing the Nine Tails wants. He needs Naruto, after all. He needs him as a vessel. If he were to break, there's nothing to physically hold the Nine Tails to this plane. Sure, he'd be free, but free to do what? No, Naruto has always been important to the Nine Tails. Just not in the way people think. As Garrus feels Naruto himself begin to slowly fade as this thing begins to take over, this foul energy. As Naruto, with his tiger claws, begin to rip and tear through every single mirror, shattering every one, not leaving a single piece or shard intact, moving fast, faster than most people can even see. The builders are in shock. Sakura's in shock. Kakashi's going, oh fuck. Zabuza's going, what? And Haku? At this moment, Haku has known that Haku has fucked up. Because the last mirror remains. And that means the last motherfucker is there. As Naruto shatters it and drags Haku out. Screaming at Haku. Shouting how he killed his friend, how he murdered his comrade, and how he was gonna pay. Slowly but surely, Naruto begins to tighten his grip around Haku's head, crushing the mask that he wears. Zabuza rushes forward, trying to save Haku. Kakashi, still in shock from seeing Naruto like this, doesn't react in time. He reacts, but is off by a couple seconds. More than enough time for Zabuza to catch up, to get to Naruto. But that doesn't stop Naruto, because all he does is re-angle his body and catch the sword Zabuza was swinging with his tiger claws, enhanced by the Nine Tails chakra. He grabs the blade and tosses him aside as if he was nothing more than a pebble in the street. Zabuza's point of view, he is thrown. Water style, water dragon jutsu. As he sends a water dragon forward, riding on top of it, to hit Naruto. But it's too late. Naruto has killed Haku by crushing his skull inwards, piercing his skull with the tiger claws, dropping him to the ground as Zabuza just screams, "Bastard!" as he tries to hit Naruto with the dragon. Naruto dodges, moving Sasuke's body out of the way, not wanting it to get injured, retaining some semblance of his humanity. But it's only a semblance, because right now he's giving in to the full rage the Nine Tails feels. His aura turning darker and darker, his skin being peeled back and destroyed. All those years of pent-up rage, anger, hatred towards all those villagers who mocked, bullied, harassed, insulted him, they all come spilling forward as the Nine Tails whispers in his ear how good it would feel to let it all out, to kill everything. Naruto, in a daze, is almost tempted to let him out as the body of Naruto charges at Zabuza over and over, slashing, hacking, scratching, trying to hit him. Zabuza barely being able to dodge and block with his sword, even the sword beginning to get scratched by the sheer strength of his claws. But that's whenever a sudden appearance is made. That's whenever Naruto stops. Because he hit he hit something. His body knows he hit something. But it wasn't Zabuza. As he looks and regains focus, he sees Geras blocking the way, taking a hit, dead in his face, where Naruto slashed right over his body, right across Geras's once flawless face. Well, for a Glavenus, that is. There's now a set of 4 claws going right over it, right below his eye, as Naruto looks at himself in shock, as blood begins to pour from Geras's wounds. Zabuza tries to go back on the attack, as Naruto is distracted. But then you hear a loud and painful psst, as, well, Kakashi says, lightning style, lightning blade, and pierces straight through Zabuza's heart, killing him instantly. Geras falls to the ground, badly damaged, but still breathing, battered from taking that wave, as well as injured from Naruto's attack. Naruto looks at himself, and he falls to his knees. As the Nine Tails loses its temper, trying to go in a rage, encouraging Naruto to strike, kill. But he doesn't listen. He pulls back his hatred. And he looks at Geras and remembers all the good times. the happiness, the caring, even the funny moments of being hit by each other. And the chakra is dispelled. As Naruto's, well, beaten and bloody body falls over onto Garrus's face, crying up a storm. And that's where I think I'll leave it off here, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you had a good time. And I'm glad to have taken you on this little adventure. Please do, if you feel like it, leave a comment and like. Heck, if you enjoyed it that much, please do subscribe if you're new here. Don't know why you're starting at episode 2, but I don't care. Have a good time, and this is Diomedes Rouge. Out.